Morning guys, out at the barn this morning. It's a little chilly this morning, so I was gonna cut some firewood, but instead I'm gonna work in the barn a little bit on the old Jeep. And there she is. I put these Summit Trail Climber tires on it, ordered them up on eBay, it was fairly cheap. Things are starting to look fairly decent on the old Jeep, and she does seem to ride better. I mean, of course, we've gone from flat, broken springs, probably original, to just a 3-inch Skyjacker lift on it. So anyway, my thing today is running boards. I want to make it so that the Empress, now that the thing's 3 inches higher, she doesn't have to struggle to climb in it. She could put her foot up on the board and jump right in. So these boards are the I-board. I got these on eBay too, about 180 bucks. I'm already impressed with it because this seems like pretty decent metal. That's like 3/16 at least. Pretty hefty. Looks like it's going to be kind of involved. Things are labeled and stickered. Got a bunch of different pieces here. So I'm going to be spreading these things out. I got a bag full of goodies here and taps, which scares me a little bit. Oh, this guy even got torque specs. So I think the first thing I'll do is pull this hardware package apart, get the instructions out, and give them a once-over. Because this looks a little bit like Christmas morning. Insert slot A into tab B, all that kind of stuff. I also got another set for the truck because I'm going to bring that back in here too. And I want to put running boards on that so she can climb in easier again. These higher vehicles, she hates climbing in them. So I'm going to make it a little bit easier for her if I can. Once I get these all put on, I'm going to shoot the bottom of this Jeep down with, I got a couple cans of fluid film, powerful protection. It's like a lanolin based stuff, non-toxic and non-hazardous, but it does smell like old socks. So I'm going to spray it down with this, just try to keep some of the rust off it because I'm going to wind up driving this throughout the winter. Okay, so I laid out all my little parts, all my little bolts and washers and stuff and brackets. Now it appears these two are ambidextrous because they're labeled up both ways, but these guys aren't. These guys are all labeled with a different label. So that makes it kind of easy, I think, with the label. It says step 1, start installation from driver's side of the vehicle. Select the driver front mounting bracket. That's the DFM. Where's that? Here's the DFM. It's marked PFM and DFM. It's that ambidextrous guy. So I need to pick this one out first. Then what? Oh, then see, eventually it bolts into that other one, which is the DFB. That's that guy right there. Okay, so I see how that goes. Okay, this one mounting bracket's supposed to go here, and I can't do it. Somebody at one point had running boards on this Jeep already, and they welded this bracket to the frame. It looks to me to be pretty solid. It's welded all the way around that frame there like that. I don't think that's going to fall off. And as a result, I can't, either I have to cut this off and then put this on, which this, I have to loosen up that shackle bolt and slide that up under like that. And then there's another bolt that would go through there and come into here, which I'm pretty sure I'd have to drill a hole for. So I might just bypass all that and weld this or bolt this bracket right onto this bracket. Not only that, I can adjust that a little more because I was thinking the running board should be a little lower. It'll just make it easier to step into. Because where these are going to wind up, the running board is going to wind up being pretty high, really. Almost even with the bottom of the rocker panel. And I think I'd want a little more space than that. See, like on this side, I have this running board propped up here with a couple boards on the lift. I'm thinking that's more like I'd want them to be lower. Now, lower wouldn't be great if I'm going to go out rock crawling or all that kind of stuff, but I'm not gonna. This is always got to be on the road pretty much, maybe occasional out in the field. Well, I'm not going to go out rock climbing or mudding with this Jeep. It's just mainly my daily driver kind of thing. And the main reason I want the bigger tires and stuff is PA roads. So I'm making an off-road Jeep that I'll drive on the road, I guess is the best way to describe it. I think I'm going to wind up using the existing mounts that somebody had already welded onto the frame. So that means I got to do a little modifying. We'll have to see how that looks. So that means that I would just use this bracket and not have the bracket that bolts into underneath the shackle bolt. It's not really a shackle bolt. What is that? That's a front spring perch mount bolt. Looks like with the original mounting, the running board itself would stick out pretty far. I mean, it would stick out all the way to there. It'd be more like this. Basically, that would mount up like that. And that running board, that puts that running board way the heck away from the vehicle. So we'll take a look at the driver's side again. If I mount it here where it was supposed to be, that looks to me like really sticking out. I mean, that's pretty close to where it would live, right about there. Wow, that sticks out quite a bit. That's lower than it would normally be, but that's where the running board would sit, right there. And that's out. That wouldn't be horrible. I mean, it's just a little bit past where the fender goes. I don't know what the regs are on that, but that's the way they have it. I would like them to stick out further. It really wouldn't hurt me any. Make the step easier. That means that the inner part of the step is just about straight down from the door opening. That would be about right. Right about there. Does that look sensible? Be right about there. That's tucked way in further. And it would want to be here, basically. That just to me is like way the hell out there. I gotta look at the picture on the internet. That can't be out that far. So there's the picture. I don't know, it doesn't look like it looks like it would stick out further than the picture if I mounted them up stock the way they're designed. I think what I'm going to do is just clamp them on there and weld them up to what I got, and that's going to be that. Okay, what do we think of this? Now I've got it set there temporary. I've clamped the new brackets to the old brackets. Not exactly where they need to be. I've already made adjustments. I'm going to make an adjustment to that. I'm going to move that in an inch. But I think I'm going to put them both down an inch. And I think I'll be relatively accurate if I measure from the lift to here. Right now it measures 4 1/8. I'm going to drop it down to 3 inches between here and there. Maybe what I'll do even is put a block there and then set it where I want it and then move the brackets to where I want them and weld them up. I can easily drop an inch. I got plenty of material there. I got plenty of material here. See that? I can drop that down an inch, still have plenty of room to weld. So that's, I think, what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the car back up, make the adjustments, measure both sides, get the numbers so I could do it on the other side, and then put things together and weld them on. I guess that's what I'll do. And then I'll spray paint them up with some kind of good paint if I can find some. Also, I've got them set so they don't stick out past the mirror. So I think I'm happy with that. I don't want them sticking out way past, but I think they want to stick out a little bit so she can put her foot right on there and she can step right into the Jeep. But I think that's about what I'm going to live with, pretty close to that. And it doesn't stick out past the mirror. And so what I got to do now is I'm going to drop this down. I'm going to drop this side down. I got them level. I got them both even because this ain't, oh, it is rocking a little bit. So I got to move that a little bit. This ends up, so you can tell by the way it rocks. So that's going to go down a little bit. I'm going to try it right now. So I'm going to measure, I think I'll measure to this lip right here. And we'll go from there. If I run a tape measure, yep, I can hook it on the bottom. Instead of there, I'll get it really accurate that way. Right at 5 inches. You can't see it, it's right at 4 3/4. So or 4 1/4. I got to drop it down 3/4 of an inch. Something I learned working with my buddy Ed, if you train your eye, you can see level. You can see when things are level or crooked. You can actually see a lot of things, and it helps. I mean, you're not always perfect, and it's not like you can read them, you know, be a human micrometer or anything, but you can usually see distances and things like that if you work at it. So I'm going to give that a try with this. I got that on there tight. Let's see how close I got. I might be a mile off, who knows, but it's worth a try. Now if I can snap this to my weak hand. Okay, got it. Yeah. Got it. Cooking though. Put this there. Yeah, it's really cooking. You can tell by the way it teeters. So this has to come up to level it out. That's pretty good right there. Well, let's see what the tape measure says. And I am 4 3/4. So I got close, but I'm still a 1/4 inch high. All right, gotta try it again. 15 tries later. That's it. Okay, finally. Now what I'm gonna do is draw a picture on these so I can measure it over and transfer it to the ones that'll be on the driver's side. Okay, well I got the passenger side ones placed and hanging with a couple little chicken poop welds. But what I'm gonna do is get the other side hanging, and then I'll switch over to the third. Actually, I could switch over to that 30 wire now, really. And grind that all off and stick them on there really good and solid. I got it lined right up now. I'm down to 6 3/4, just like the other side. I got my 11 and 13/16 like the other side. So I'm gonna tack that there. I'm gonna have to get the leather jacket. Woo! Getting burned up. Burned up, baby. Okay, so that looks pretty level. That looks really level. But I don't know for sure yet. Maybe I want to get the other one caught and then put the running board on before I go crazy welding the whole thing all up. I think that's what I'll do. So I'm going to set up for the other one. All right, I got all these mounts welded on, all the running board mounts. And I accidentally got a decent weld there. That one's a little iffy, but I think it'll hold. So I'm gonna paint it up nice and tight, and then I'm gonna bolt the running boards down on. We'll see how it looks when I get done. Had a whole bunch of videos showing you guys what this Jeep turned out like and lost it. So here it is anyway. Looks really good, sits great. Tires look good on it, it really rides pretty good. It's got some clunks and bumps, but I don't know, it makes some clunks. I gotta check things out for loose parts. Not to mention, the Empress hates where these running boards are. They're too high and they're too far out. They're not even good for me to get in. The way they stick out too far and you wind up scrubbing the back of your leg as you get in and out. And that's no good, and they're up so high that they don't do any good. Now, I don't want to have them too low either, where they bang into stuff, but I think I could drop it 3 inches. It'll make quite a bit of difference. I can't believe how much rust is already on that piece. I mean, that finish lasted about 20 minutes. Well, the thing's been on there probably a month. We haven't driven it that much, maybe 1,000 miles. So anyway, that's what I'm gonna do next, is drag that in the shop one day this winter and fix that. All that to say, glad you guys stuck around for the video. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We'll see you guys on the next one.